It is the end of May, May 30th today. I managed to carve out a couple days. I find myself with only having one bear tag filled so far this year. So I'm in the south central part of BC in a place I haven't hunted here in the spring for a couple of years. We're going to go up here to a place where I know there's a couple old grassy roads. Bears are not too sensitive to sound, but they are pretty sensitive to movement this time of year. If they've been out of their den for a couple of days, the weather's been warmer, so most of them are probably past their walking hibernation by this point, and be a little bit more aware of what's going on around them. You want to find places where there's 5 or 6 piles in about a half a kilometer stretch on the side of the road, in the grass, in a place where there's water. Likely he's going to be there pretty consistently. I drove up into this little opening here on my way through, and I wanted to stop and take a little bit closer look. There is lots of bear sign here. Lots. They've been feeding right here for a while. This is the area where I seen, specifically right here along this road, bear tracks in the fall when I was up here mule deer hunting. We're starting to get some growth in these cuts. Had to drive through some snow. I don't know if I might be too early up here, but they're starting to see some good grass growing, clover growing. There's places here that looks like, something's been kind of chewing off the grass. Could be some bears in here. So just gonna kind of drive around and hike back in some of these clear cuts and see if we can't find some sign, find some tracks, shoot a bear. One of the things that I get asked quite often is how I find some of the spots that I hunt. The truth about it is, it's painful. It's a lot of research. It's a lot of time in the woods. It's a lot of stopping and looking for sign and hiking back in and old roads and looking at maps. It's a lot, and sometimes it takes years. And one of the things that I do is on my GPS or on my Onyx, I mark places and then put some notes in there so I can go back if I'm over here hunting for the first time in 3 or 4 years, and so I can go back and look at my notes that I had on waypoints and see, what kind of sign, what kind of animals, refresh my memory before I come in this trip and have a plan on where I'm going to focus my time. And then also always spend a certain amount of time on each trip scouting new areas, looking deeper into places that I already know, hiking a little bit farther, looking for trails, looking for sign. One of the things that you have to be really careful about hunting this time of year is it's going to be almost 90 degrees today. I doubt it's going to be that warm up here. I'm up pretty high in elevation right now, but you have to be conscientious of, if you're going to kill a bear, how you're going to care for that meat. Because if you're an hour from town and it takes you a while to drag it out and get it in the truck, if you're leaving that hide on out in the sun for 2 hours, it's highly likely that meat's going to spoil. So, you should try to develop the capacity to be able to quarter the animal up and have some game bags, get that meat taken apart. Plastic bags work really good too. There's nothing wrong with plastic bags. I used that a couple of years ago. Press and I were in a place like this. It was really warm. He shot his bear, but we put the meat in plastic bags and we had cold water and there was some snow. So as we were quartering it up, we set the bags in the cold water, and then when we put them in the truck, we packed them in snow. You have to keep that meat cold. I'm going to head up here a little bit further and then do some glassing and see what I can find. I'm up really high now, just getting close to subalpine. It's beautiful this time of year. Just got up to the top of one of these upper clear cuts, and the terrain, and they've got some green patches of grass growing. You can see over there below the trees. There's some spots on these southern facing hillsides that look really good compared to the ones on the northern facing, still got snow all over them. So I think maybe come in here in the evening, or get up here around 6 o'clock. It's not getting dark until 9 now. and just work my way out slow, maybe stop and check a couple side roads and see what I can find. But man, look at the view up here. It's incredible. But we're bear hunting. We're not sightseeing. It's time to get to work. Jeez. This is the first pile of bear crap I've seen up here. And it's likely he's just moving through here, but it's very, very fresh. I just walked down into this clear cut, about halfway back down off this mountain, and spooked that bear. Probably 3.5, didn't have quite a pointy nose. It was far away and didn't really ever give me a broadside shot. I'm gonna come back up this evening and when they're more likely to be moving around, and take another look, and then decide if I'm gonna go back down low and spend the next couple days, or if I'm gonna kind of work this up here.
What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Flying, get on board.
Can't see him now, but that bear was right down there on that point, 178 yards, and his feet, and it finally turned broadside. Gave me a good shot, so went for a lung shot, and he went kind of around behind that, and then I just seen him right where that tree sticks up right there. Looked like he was kind of flopping around right there. All right, just got my second black bear for this year. There's something you don't see every day. Definitely a long shot. It's got pretty good sized paws. Hard like teeth. The shape of his head is probably 3.5. Definitely got some meat on him.